What, yo? Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, babe. All right. How you doing?
You sleeping?
No?
Oh,
How are you?
I'm alright. What's going on?
Okay. On the computer. Just talking to the chat room.
How was Jarapov?
Hold on a second. I'm actually. What's going on, Illy? I'm gonna call it Illy. I'm gonna say Illy. Again, I'm not 100% sure of the pronunciation. If you can hear me, let me know. What's going on, Illy? I'm gonna call it Illy. I'm gonna say Illy. Again, I'm not 100% sure of the pronunciation. If you can hear me, let me know. All right, perfect, perfect. Thank you. All right, let's see what else we can do here. AMC's holding at 4 hours. This is what $4 is what I was actually expecting to do, just for Max Payne reasons. They need to keep some kind of control, so they're gonna neutral this thing out. Let's see. All right. Um, just kind of stagnating right here. I really want Zom to go ahead and push above 109. But if it doesn't hurry up, I'm going to have to cut these 0 DTEs. NVIDIA was nice, a nice push, a nice move. Well, to the downside anyway, so scalp that 100%er. Only thing with NVIDIA, they're expensive and they are dangerous, so. And you know how NVIDIA is to the upside. I've been smoked a couple times by NVIDIA. So, not trying to have that happen that often. Let's see, so I can get a couple folks on the stream. Get this thing going. Let's see. Yeah, I cut him at 417, man. I I got in, got out. You know, it's what it is. Yeah, I'm not sticking around. I don't need to see that nonsense on Nvidia. We know how Nvidia can get. It can bounce and it can really knock everybody out. So yeah, I mean, in this case, Nvidia it's dumping. I mean, the market is dumping. I still think it can go and see 416. I don't think that's just a rebound move. I think it still can see 416, but I'm in zero DTEs. I can't take that risk. Nvidia is way too expensive. I mean, the contracts for zero DTEs were $2. That's expensive. Let's see. Yes, and it's still dumping. There it goes, 418. Yeah, I expect it to come down a little bit lower than that. So 416 is probably the bounce location, and Zom is starting to really piss me off here. It's not pushing the way I want it to. Looks like it's at the top. I might want to come down. If it loses the 9 EMA, I'm getting out. I'll take the loss. I'm trying to figure out how to get this music in here without YouTube cutting me off. Every time I try to play a little music, they cut off my stream. I don't need that happening anymore. Yeah, AMC they're holding AMC back pretty nicely right now. It's all Max Payne stuff right here. This is just in order to keep it from running too hard. They got to keep some kind of order for it not to go haywire. So I'm expecting a double bottom from here. I'm watching this moving average. I would like to see it stay above 397. That is high volume there on the push down. but I'd like to see it hold a smooth moving average at 394, start bouncing back off 394 to head back upwards. But this would make a double bottom from the pre-market move, and eventually try to reclaim $4. So as long as that happens, as long as we stay in this range, I'm totally fine with it. Ape is still not broken over 222. Very concerning. I've been talking about this. Mullen, I haven't looked at Mullen in a while, so it's great. We'll see what Mullen is talking about. Mullen, Jesus. All right. Mullen down another 15%. 66 cents. Wow. Well, Mullen is something. I can't really speak on Mullen. I scalped it a few times. Never really had too much faith in it. It was just a trade. A lot different than AMC. Yeah, much different than AMC. So, gonna keep a lookout on the next thing here. Let me send this real quick. Yeah, Mullen down 16%, and it's still losing steam. Goodness gracious. Alright, where is this stream now? And now, let me just get the... link. Yeah, 2 reverse splits and where's the stream now? And now, let me just get the feedback. Let's get this out of here. Okay. Should have got in on those IWM puts. That would have been good. I'm gonna take it kind of easy a little bit here. See if I can get try to put some kind of music on, just to give me a little bit of extra pep. This player haters always trying to block on my music every time I get on YouTube. I'm telling you, if they block me off one more time, I'm going back to Twitch. These guys are amazing. All I want to do is hear a little music. Is that too much to ask? Alright. Yeah, Ape, I think it's all gonna happen after hours, Illy. It's they're saving it, they're holding it, they're doing what they can to control it. It's gonna be after hours. It's gonna be similar to what happened a couple weeks ago, where it just like flung right through $8. It'll be like a quick, crazy move. It's just too tightly wound up. I don't know if you caught the video I put up earlier this morning. I made it last night, so I might have missed a few people, but it is very tightly wound up in this spot. They can't let it run, not just yet. Not if it's out of control. Let's see. All right, let's see. What else can we do? Let me see if there's anything else right now, play-wise. NVIDIA, I'm out of NVIDIA already. Not touching that. Watch AMC. Let's take a look at the market real quick to see if anything else is happening. ZOM is still flagging. It hopefully should break to the upside in a little bit. Let's see. Volume isn't picked up much, but this is what I'm watching. It is still holding above the 9 EMA, which is good, so I'll keep an eye on that. As long as it holds above the 9 EMA, and I'm trying to hold on, but if it breaks, I'm going to cut it. Right now, it's data killing me right now. Data burn is coming in. AMC's bouncing a bit, staying above 397, which is good. Staying above 394, which is even better. It's a good thing. All right, what else can we do? 0 DTEs. Let's try this music real quick. See if they let me do royalty-free music, because that's annoying. Let's see what else. How's the SPY doing? SPY is holding 343, 434. QQQ is trying to turn around here, trying to break the 50, failing. This is a 5-minute time frame. SPY is trying to make a recovery, but it looks like it's going to still come back down to about 433. So not really buying the moves on SPY either. Output capture. Alright, so music should be playing. Let's see if let me double check it. You might hear a little feedback for a second while I double check this. Output capture. Alright, so music should be playing. Let's see if let me double check it. You might hear a little feedback for a second while I double check this. All right. Sounds a little better. Not hopefully they don't cut me off like they always do with with YouTube. A little cleaner though. All right. Sounds a Let's see what we got. Is there anything else out here moving? Let's see what else we got moving. Any other volume gappers? So typically I like to look at volume gappers just to kind of get an idea. I'm cutting ZOM. ZOM is out of here. It's making me mad right now. It broke the 9 EMA. Now testing the 421 moving average. I am out of ZOM. I'll take the loss on that ZOM call. Alright, so ZOM is out. Mar Dog, what's happening, man? Gotcha, yeah. Alright, AMC still bouncing around, trying to regain. It's bouncing off the smooth moving average. Just hanging around there as long as above 394. Looks like it's trying to double bottom here off of that smooth moving average and looking to push back up. I want to see it back above 397 and ultimately back above 404 to start getting the next push. But again, they're going to drag this out to the end of the day just for Max Payne. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly how it goes with the Max Payne. It's been like that for a while, and it's all for reasons we all understand. Market right now is a bounce area. Nvidia was a very good play. Scary, but a good one. Today is pretty wild already. 433 is broken, like I talked about a little while ago. It's sitting on an order block. So orders are still there, looking to purchase this thing up. I do expect this thing to fail. We do have a 921 cross on the 5-minute time frame. I don't think it's gonna hold or push this all the way up. It did feed into it a little bit. You can see it was instantly met with high volume and pushed back up just about 10 minutes ago or so. But I don't think it's gonna hold, and we may go and see lower. I have a little bit under there. I have a support line sitting around 433. But we're going to see how the orders play out in just a little bit. If it starts eating through these orders, we'll know for sure. QQQ is really having trouble getting above the 50 moving average or the 50 EMA. So that's going to probably continue downward. Let's see, it was met with almost a tweezer top candle here. Knockdown, ready to push it back downwards. One thing it's got going for it is it's kind of sideways trading. Volume is still pretty low. Nothing is really coming in. It's just kind of flagging here. Wicks happening to the downside. Wicks to the upside, from the upside moves. So yeah, high possibility it's coming down further. The market's looking crazy right now. That crazy Bitcoin dump last night, insane. But we saw that one coming. Let's see what else we got going on here. Is there any other plays that's moving right now? If you guys picked up that one, that 0 DTE, or that single, that 1 DTE option yesterday on the SPY, or if you kept it 1 DTE yesterday, yeah, you'd be up pretty nice from that move. We called that through 436 when it was in the 441 range, and I was like, hey, this is an opportunity. It was a little risky at that 435 mark, but I guess the market still wanted more downside because we're all the way down here, sitting at 433. It looks like it's trying to bounce back a little bit, but again, we got this major order block, green volume sitting here ready to push this thing back up slightly. But it is still ultimately under the 9 EMA. So this H pattern is a bearish symbol. So if it breaks this little uptrend that I have here on the SPY, and breaks underneath this this order block, it will push down further. I have a downside target still that has not been touched at 432.87. It almost got touched this morning, but looks like it's been trying to reverse. So we'll see. That order block, the orders have not been fully filled down here, and it's still underneath the 9 EMA. QQQ. What else is moving? Let me check check out the blue chips real quick. Nvidia is going to be hanging around that 420 mark for a little while. That flush was major, and it's probably going to flush again. It didn't touch 416. I'm expecting 416, but the only thing that might keep Nvidia afloat is the idea that they have earnings coming up next week. So there's still a lot of hype around earnings. If they meet earnings, they don't even have to beat earnings. All they got to do is meet earnings, and it'll probably go to 500. So Nvidia is still bullish. You know, at the end of the day, it's just behind the AI idea is the visuals, and that, as long as the visuals, this is a visual world we live in, a visual world we live in. As long as that's the case, Nvidia is going to rule that space until somebody comes take them out. EMC's back above $4. How is Ape looking? Ape still hasn't broken 222. Until Ape breaks 222, I'm looking at this thing, you know, as a setup. It has not broken. This is now a triple top on Ape. If it does not break 222 on this push, if it breaks 222 on this push, I'm looking for 265. And we were talking about it in the group, that wild push down to 65 cents, 69 cents, or whatever it was during the sweep that they pulled, the liquidity sweep. Hey, we missed out on that one big time. Because if it breaks here, I mean, we're still pretty good, I think, on our positions on 8. However, that was a opportunity. Oh, there we go. It's breaking 223 on 8. I need you to push. If it pushes through 222, it should get real live on 8. But it keeps 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks now, 5, 6 attempts so far, 7 attempts to break 222 on 8. Yeah, that's exactly what they did, Illy. That's exactly the same thing they did back in 2021. Bitcoin dumped right before AMC started to run. That's just how it's just where it's the third bank account is what they call it, right? Everybody has their brokerage accounts, they have their savings accounts, and then they got crypto. So when crypto is where they keep money when they don't want certain things to be seen. And that's the reason that Sam Bankman-Fried is in the issues that he's got now, because he was behind a lot of that. So a lot of theories as far as what was happening with the tokenized shares and stuff like that with AMC, as well as GameStop and some other heavily shorted names. A lot of stuff that was happening on that in the background through the crypto markets was almost providing unlimited liquidity, or what it appeared to be unlimited shares that they were able to use and short back into the market. So it looked like they had shares available when they really didn't, which is what the reason is behind us having so many failures to deliver. So, yeah, eventually these things come out. Doesn't take long. And this is what we're seeing, the repercussions of it right now. I mean, the way I feel about the way the market is moving is directly related to all of that. All of it is starting to show up. And it's being hidden behind other things. But SPY is recovering. It did get that double bounce, tweezer bottom. Volume is starting to increase here on the moving average, on the above the moving average, excuse me. On the SPY, looking to push up. If it breaks above about 434.85, we can start seeing some real movement, but that's going to probably be a little bit tougher to do. Waiting for some confirmation crosses. It did break on the 5-minute above the 9 EMA. Good to see that. Let's see. So moving average, cross cabin check. Let's see here. Hey, I appreciate it, man. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Any other plays in the meantime while AMC, we're waiting for AMC and Ape to finally start doing their thing. I don't like this. I'm not a fan of this downside cross. It needs to be invalidated. We need AMC to get back above 408 to invalidate the 921 cross to the downside on the 30-minute chart at this point. So I have a little cross. If you can see it on the screen here, there is a cross of the 9 EMA and the 21 EMA. So this is the point where you need to see AMC start to turn around to invalidate it, get back above 408, and then hold up there for a little bit of time. Because I really think it's starting to set up for a move after hours. And we'll probably be well into the after hours market where things can't really be, we can't really react. Most people can react. Some people can, shares wise, but in terms of options and stuff like that, the volatility is probably going to be nuts. So I'm looking to cut the majority of these things. Well, I have most of them already cut. However, just holding a few runners that expired today on the 3.5 calls. And then we'll see what happens next week, because the options chain, I still don't have full confirmation on how that's going to be handled. So I'm not going to really look to play AMC into the reverse split, because there's a new custom number change. I haven't gotten the chance to read into it much, so I definitely will be doing that this weekend. And if I got anything smooth, I'll definitely post it in a video or online as well on Twitter. Yeah, Ape is just Ape doesn't want to break 222. It's very iffy. The same way AMC didn't want to break above 526 last week, and all of a sudden we got that news at after hours, and then it just dumped 30%. So Ape has been struggling, and I don't know if there's a rug pull coming. That's what this is telling me at this point. I don't know what it's going to be. I thought it might have been some sort of news, something related to a court date, something like that. But at this point, I mean, it sounds like the court situation has been rectified and all handled. So there was denials on that class action lawsuit they talked about the other day. So that's out of the way. So now it's just seeing what's going to happen next. But 222, I might as well go ahead and make this a little bit. Is a line that's being rejected constantly. I want to see this uptrend break and break out, because then at that point I'm looking directly at 265 on 8 for the next level. Have it marked off. That would break us out of the bull channel that this has been in for months now. And then we'd start being able to get ready to go. Let's see, Zom is, I already cut Zom. And they're trying to make me look bad over here. It is now starting to break out. It did hold on to the 21 EMA, but data decay, I couldn't hold on to. 0 DTEs moved too quick. So we'll leave that alone for now. So try not to look back at trades that didn't go my way. Take the losses, move on. You know, try to keep my eyes to on the rest of the prizes that are out there. Yeah. Oh yeah, we don't need to see any more rug pulls. I mean, it's been back and forth. How many rug pulls have they pulled on us already? Where Ape switches, one goes up 30%, the other one goes down 30%, and then they do it again, and it's been a ton of them. Oh, that's cool. Stranded in, stranded in Libya. Oh, wow. That's that's a long way from where I'm at. Hope the best for you. All right. Let's see what else is moving. Any other volume gappers right now? Anything starting to make some moves? Any breakouts? Any alerts? Anything? Everything's just trying to recover right now. Let's take a look at the blue chips again. SPY 430. Actually, SPY's pushing 435. It's looking nice. SPY's pushing. It broke the 50 moving average. It is about to get a 921 cross to the upside. It's going to start moving, actually. I got an order block, a sell order here, sitting at about 435.40. QQQ is also starting to turn around. That means the blue chips are probably on their way back up as well. So that's, that might be something. Let's see, any scalps? Yeah, Apple's in a good reversal zone. Let me triple this up. See if we can see multiple screens. Apple's pushing right now. Boy, I missed on Apple. Alright, Apple calls would be really nice. But that bounce off the bottom, that's what's carrying the market back up. It's Apple. Apple saves the day again. Nvidia also turning around from down here also. So you got Nvidia pushing, you got Apple pushing. That's the end of the move for IWM. Let's see. Ape still has not broken. Ape is still not broken above 222, ladies and gentlemen. AMC is trying to invalidate the 30-minute 921 cross to the downside, which it will if it breaks above 408. And that's what we're waiting for. So they're just trying to break, keep us under max pain for the time being, so this thing doesn't start to go into a squeeze prematurely. It is possible. If we don't start seeing that movement, I don't want us to come back down. Our next target would be at 385 to the downside. I'd rather not see that. I'd rather keep the momentum that we have going on now, but it is something that we need to pay attention to. Ape's volume is looking really good. If you look at the volume, it is starting to press up. It may not be much longer before this thing starts to pop. Well, on the day anyways. If you look at it from a longer time frame, it's still early in the day, but it is on a steady decline while it's trying to push up. So it's in a crazy spot. It's in a crazy spot. I don't know what's gonna happen next. I can't even say on Ape. AMC looks good. Ape right now is a little confusing. So Nvidia, SPY, IWM. We can leave IWM out of the situation. ZOM is trying to push. I'm not looking at ZOM anymore. AMD at 103. Ouch. How low did AMD go? Did I miss AMD? We were in AMD yesterday, or the day before yesterday, down to 105, I believe, 106. You tell me AMD hit $100? Goodness gracious. That was a miss. So that was a spring right there. Came down, tested, it's coming right back up. Zone reversal was at $100. Now it's at 103. Crazy. 104. Man, if the market doesn't turn around here, I don't know what's going to happen. This thing looks really bad. I had 404 puts that I bought way back when, in like July, when we were sitting around the 450 mark, 440, high 440s. And those are green. I'm gonna hold on to them a little while longer. If we wind up seeing some kind of a bounce, I'll get rid of them, reposition. But we are still in the downtrend. There may be a little bit more room down to the downside on the SPY. I'm still expecting somewhere to probably touch. If we don't hold 430, it's possible we can see 425. That'll be the next target. Let's see. Nvidia's pushing back up. AMD. 401, right? Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna play with this thing. They don't even want 4 to go. I doubt they even want to see $4. Just curious on Max Payne. I'm pretty sure it's about 450. It might even be $4. But who knows? These guys. I haven't looked at Max Payne in a while. You do want to be aware of it, but I haven't actually looked at it. I don't typically. I mean, there's different ways of trading, different ways of going about choosing stocks you pick. Some people are really into the chain, looking at flow and things like that. You know, it's always a toss up. It's always a matter of preference. I stick to the charts. I personally feel that the charts precede everything. I think the chain is a result of what the chart looks like. Oh, $5? Thanks for looking that up, Billy. $5 Max Payne. Huh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. So maybe we will see a push. Maybe we will see a push. So $5 is Max Payne. Let's see if they let us get there. Because they are holding this thing, and the volume is very, very low. I mean, it's been we're not getting much lower in price as in relation to the volume. So this is an effort versus result type of situation when you actually look at the volume. We're well underneath the moving average, and price volume is actually decreasing, or sell volume is decreasing, and the price is not getting much lower. So yeah, it's straight dry volume. So it's indicative of a reversal will happen soon. Just waiting for buyers to step in. We'll see. You know, I think with volume is this dry, in my opinion, that's the number one weapon that these guys have is volume control. They control volume, they control everything. However, we're about to get, if we look at some of the indicators, we're about to start getting a little bit of movement to the opposite direction. RSI is starting to flip up. MACD is starting to flip up. The positive volume indicator is starting to potentially cross. So we'll see. Give it a little time. Ape is trying to get some traction here. It is still above the 9 EMA, but it just seems like it cannot break 222. But that's the number. But if it breaks it, it's gonna fly. So this is all algorithmic trading situations right now. They're holding it for a purpose. IWM SPY is coming back down. 434.52. QQQ. How is QQQ looking? I gotta stop moving my charts around. Alright. 355.88. Apple was pushing a little while ago. Looks like more of a bounce type of situation. Yeah, Ape. What's up, John? Yeah, it would be nice to see Ape get above 222. That's all we're waiting for. Ape has been rejected from 222 about 7 or 8 times already. They know that 222 is that marking range. I've been talking about that one for a little while. That's the range where things get crazy. You can see it run like, I don't know, like another 30% right after that. It would happen pretty quick too, but they're holding it there for a reason. And it's getting a little bit of legs there. It just broke 223. Up back to 22. All right, let me take another look at it. Yeah, AMC's fighting back. They're not going to be able to hold us for too much longer. I think we're gonna start seeing some real moves in a little bit. Where are my targets? Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put my velocity targets. If you caught the video that I put up a little earlier from last night, I talked about the velocity targets. I'm gonna mark them off in pink here. 412, 434. You break those areas on AMC, this thing will start moving very fast. It'll start picking up velocity, and it's now above the 21 moving average, which is at 402. Awesome. Glad you caught that, John. But that's it. There's the velocity areas for AMC. We start seeing that move. We start breaking through those areas. Watch out, because it's going to start getting real violent. But the main one, I want to break above that 466 is the main one. 458, 466, obviously very close to each other. And Brape is getting a little bit of a breakout. Okay, 224 up. They're going to try to hold it. But Ape is starting to get a little bit of a breakout. This could get real nice in just a little bit. Congratulations if you got Ape at 65 cents. You're probably smiling right now from ear to ear. But it looks like Ape is starting to pick up a little volume. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Volume is starting to step up on Ape. Ape starts getting some legs. And AMC's about to start getting some legs too. It's about to get wicked in here. Uh-oh, there's a push. Just broke above the moving average on the 5-minute. They still holding it. They don't want it to go yet. But there's more volume coming in. I think people are starting to smell blood in the water. Buyers starting to smell blood in the water here. It's starting to push up. That volume is starting to kick in. But it's being pushed down. But the effort on this push down is not high enough. Still got momentum to the upside. AMC is also getting some legs as well. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. We break 222. Yeah, 240. 240 will come right around the corner. 265 is my next target at that point. But they are trying to hold it here. I mean, that's like 7 or 8 times that this has been rejected off of this line. It's in an ascending triangle off that resistance level of 222. You broke 222 last time, and the after hours, that's what you got. That's how you got that squeeze up 30%. I mean, it had happened much earlier than that. However, that was the continuation of it. But you can see it was retested on a couple different occasions. It fell back through, and it has not broken back above it since. But that's the next level of real resistance. All right, let's see what we got here. That's back down to 222. They're going to hold to the end of the day. They are going to hold us to the end of the day. Or as long as they can anyway. I'm waiting for some crosses to happen. 921 on the 5-minute. This is why I urge everyone to consider adding the smooth moving average. Because you can clearly see how it's respected on these different indicators. You can see how it bounced off twice. The double bottom was caught. You could have easily looked at this thing and say, okay, hey, I'm going to enter calls right here at 394. Just enter calls for $4. The 0 DTEs, $4 even next week's. And you would have been up already. Just like that, by respecting the smooth moving average. So that's a key. That's one of the keys right there. That's why I urge anybody who's doing this or looking at these plays, pay attention to that, pay attention to volume, and just make sure you're watching the MACD. Simple as that. The MACD starts to flip, RSR starts to flip, 921 cross is confirmation. But the bounce off the smooth moving average would have been a location to start to enter your positions. And then from there, just ride it up. You'd probably be up like 30% right now if you took a $4 call. Right from here, from 394. Very easily. 211 shares, 211 million shares on loan. And 41%, 41% What numbers are you talking about in the 41%? Is that the short interest? Goodness gracious. I guess the only answer to control it is to short it some more. They don't know what else to do. Just short it. Just keep shorting it. Just I don't know what else to do. Just short it more. SPY 435. Yeah, Spies actually might hit 436. It would have been also another good call. Confirmation about the 921 cross that happened this morning. Yes, there were a couple of fake outs. The order block down here, the break above the 50 moving average would have been a good entry, or a DCA if you were down on the 921 cross this morning. But the next target naturally is going to be the 200 moving average, or 200 moving average is roughly about 436.45. It's the smooth moving average, SMMA. And if you do pick it up, it's you want to make sure your settings are set to 200 on the SMMA. I think out the box it comes, I think, at 20 EMA or 20 moving average. You want to adjust it to 200. There it is. AMC is ready to pop. Ape still not making moves yet. AMC is about to officially get a 921 cross. Waiting for that to happen. It hasn't crossed yet. As soon as I get the 921 cross, which is a staple for day trading, 921, you'll get a cross confirmation. You'll see a little bit of a plus sign, which is technically where the cross actually takes place. And we should see a nice burst of volume. That's an indication to a lot of traders that this thing is ready to move. When the 9 crosses over to 21 EMA. Apis is still being held back. Let's see what's happening with the rest of the market. Blue chips. Let me add one more here. I need three tabs. I need to watch Tesla also. Tesla, goodness gracious, Tesla. I think Tesla did it break underneath. Did Tesla break underneath 210? It did. No, it didn't. 213 bounce. Okay, so 213, which I had marked here as a level of support, 213.81. It did bounce below it, which is a zone of reversal, or PRZ, or price reversal zone. Bounced off of it, and is looking to try to make a return back up towards 218. In my opinion, Tesla is a buy here. It can come lower if the market doesn't start turning around soon. I'd be looking probably at 202, 203 if it doesn't hold here at 213. If it comes back below 213 again, it's going to 203. So it's like do or die for Tesla. Let's see. Buy volume is decreasing. Only concern is personally, but it does look good. Yeah, let's take a look. Go back to AMC real quick. 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute. Here it is. This is one of the locations where it's trying to break. If you, like we talked about a minute ago, John, that gray line is the smooth moving average. You can see where it is now bumping its head right on that smooth moving average, and it's having a little trouble breaking through. But that's one of the areas, once it breaks, you'll start to see velocity, which usually will mean that there's a 921 cross that may have happened on some smaller time frames. But that's where we're bumping it. We bumped our heads there. Pre-market came down, looking to make a second attempt to try to break that smooth moving average, which is sitting roughly around 407, 408. But once that breaks, next target immediately I'm looking at is 412. Ape is trying to get some legs here. But this is, again, the smooth moving average on the 15-minute time frame. Ape has left all its moving averages way back when, so there's really not much stopping it besides volume. Ape should have already ran, in my opinion. They're just holding it. That 222 being above 220, there's another wick down there trying to hold it under 222. So we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on this line right here. But once you see it break, it'll be a volatile type of rip above 407, I believe, is the number. Let me make sure. We are sitting at 406, actually. 406 is where the 15-minute SMMA is sitting, and we're looking for a rip through that. All right, Ape is getting some legs for 224. All right, it's finally breaking out. Just slowly, but it is finally starting to go. Any breakouts happening anywhere else? Okay, all right, Ape. I see you trying to make moves. All right, let's go back to the 5-minute. It's just wicking, but it is moving up. Just slowly. Oh boy. Tesla's being shot down again. Let's take a look at Tesla. Don't really need the IWM right now. I'm looking at small caps. Let's go back to Apple. On this window, Apple was looking like it was making a push, but it got rejected. It did not break the 200 moving average, so Apple's coming back down. AMD is in potential price reversal zone where it might come back down. Let's see here. How's Google doing? Google broke 128. My goodness. Yeah, Google. Wow, Google. Ape at 224. Still trying to break. AMC is getting ready to break above 406. If we get a break above 406, the next target I'm looking at that should give a little bit of a boost would be above 408. And from there, 412. Those are just minor boosts on the smaller time frames. The larger ones are the ones that I have marked here. 412, 434, 458, and then 466. Yeah, I should have given it a try. You're just holding it. $225. Here we go on Ape. Ape is getting for real. Ape is not playing out here now. Ape is finally starting to get some feet under it. 225 on Ape. Let's go. All right. It's time to get our moon suits on. There we go. Moon suits engaged. As the market continues down, we'll continue to see AMC go up. It's operating inverse right now. So Apple is dumping hard. In this move down on Apple, in my opinion, this is a liquidity draw. We should go back and see AMC starting to break upwards. It's not. I'm assuming that's my thesis. Astronauts. Yep. Let's see. But Apple pretty much precedes the market. Apple goes down. Tesla's dumping once again. And these huge red candles, sell-off candles, are starting to happen on Google, Tesla, and Apple all at the same time. So I'll double check the QQQ. Also coming down pretty hard. And the SPY is coming down also slightly. And IWM up here. I don't need IWM. I want to look at something else. Let's see. Okay, there's a little bit of bounce on the market. AMC's got a 921 cross confirmed by this yellow cross here. 921 cross on the 5-minute time frame, and looking at getting ready to push one more time. Ape's volume is starting to pick up. It's definitely above the moving average at this point, which is a very, very good sign. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, John. Let's try to put out here what I know. What's been working for me. I'll definitely apply these things. You should see some changes in your trading. It's worked for me, and I want to pass on whatever knowledge I got. Let's see here. PayPal looks like it might be breaking down for a call. I'm going to pull up PayPal real fast. Let's go to... Actually, I might have to open a new window. Let's open a new window for these. What do we got? There goes the SPY upwards moving. Volume is looking okay. It's going to go and push towards 436. And this is a nice upward pattern. Same thing with QQQ. For the moment, it's got to catch it at the right times. The momentum is on the side of the indexes right now for the upward push. 406 on AMC, 225. See if we can get a play in here real quick. Trading view. PayPal, in my opinion, we've been talking about this in the group. As far as PayPal and SoFi, in my opinion, these are buys in this area. PayPal and SoFi are yeah, I think I'm going to grab some 60 calls on PayPal. $60 calls in this area, I think it'd be nice. It is pushing right now. Move that up here so we have another tab. But PayPal, wow, it is pushing. Volume is starting to increase a little bit. Small position. I'm probably going to do 0 DTEs just to kind of get a little bit of the upside push that's still coming. I'm looking for $60 to potentially hit now, or in the next little bit, or at least by the end of the day. But it'll be a scalp. They love to, at solid numbers, 60, the psychological numbers, things like that, 60, 50, if it ends in a 0. Expect it to come back down before it actually breaks through. So always be a little skeptical of moves to solid numbers. But I think I'm gonna grab some 60 calls now. Maybe I might even miss the move. Let's see. How's the MACD looking? RSI is ready to come back down. The histogram is looking like it's coming back down. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to jump into these now. I'm probably going to wait till it retests the 9 EMA, which is sitting somewhere around the 59.29 area before possibly jumping in. And at that point, I'll grab a couple of calls. But it is I'm expecting it to come down. There's a high volume push down right now happening above the signal line. Ready to push this thing back down and test 9 EMA. I'll wait for the test. Wait for the MACD to flip red. See how it operates there before potentially entering. So we're going to keep PayPal on watch for a little while. Let's check back in on AMC. 406 still holding. 225 still holding on Ape. But it is above 222, which is a good sign. Looking like a rocket straight up. Just slow. That's a slow rocket. That's a slow rocket. 406 is still kind of a fight that's happening here, but there is a small flag, a small bull pennant that's kind of forming here on the smaller time frames. There's a smooth moving average here on a 2-minute time frame. You can see how it's retesting and respecting it. Again, that's on a 2-minute time frame. So it just needs to hold here, which also coincides with a 2-minute 9 EMA. I just want to continue to see low volume on the sell-offs and then higher volume on the buy-ins. That's all we're looking for. Let's see, PayPal, was there an opportunity to get in? Still not an opportunity yet. Still too hot. I needed to come down to about 59.30, and I'd be looking to possibly enter in at that point. But RSI is kind of hot. It's overbought at this point. So it would just be a quick scalp. But in terms of shares, this is a great area to buy shares, in my opinion, not financial advice. Good location for shares. I think that SoFi, PayPal, those companies that are in the banking sector that are aligned with online and internet type of services for the banking industry, they're still in disruptive spaces. So they're the ones that are going to be around longer. The older style that are just kind of catch up to their technology are the ones that are going to suffer longer term, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I mean, the dinosaurs always go extinct. Just a matter of time. And here's going pushing down, looking to go ahead and test the 9 EMA. We'll see how it responds there before potentially getting into the play. But it is pretty risky going with 0 DTEs or 0 days to expiry. So do manage risk on those. Wow. SPY at 436 would have been a nice entry. But it is moving positively up to the upside. It's potentially going to start coming back down soon, though. Once it hits the 200 moving average, it's most likely not going to break through. And that would be the opportunity for a scalp. But if it does, we're looking at the next move to potentially be up to 437. That would be a big reversal on the SPY. $5, $6, or $4 or $5. Let's see. PayPal. What else is out here? I'm going to wait on PayPal for a minute. See Verizon. See how Verizon's doing. Verizon looks like it may have gotten a breakout. I just don't particularly care for Verizon because it's a slow mover. But it did get a nice breakout to the upside. PayPal coming down. But I don't like this tweezer top. This would indicate that it's most likely coming back down. If it doesn't hold support here and loses the 9 EMA again, it's coming down further to about $33. So it might be a little bit late to the party on Verizon. Yep, here you go, 8. Ape is coming right back down to 222. AMC just trying to retest its breakout level of 402. Wasn't able to hold above that 405 level, but it should bounce off 402 and turn back around to the upside again. So we'll see. This looks like a reaccumulation style move. So far we got a Adam. It's a potential Eve that could turn around here. So this would be an Adam and Eve pattern where you start to see that kind of a move. Where you'd have this sharp downtrend, a bounce to the upside, almost a swooping kind of move, and then breaking above 402 and looking to build an accumulation up to the next target, which is still at 412. Like I talked about, where the velocity will pick up. It may be smaller than this, it may be larger than this, but this is the type of move I'm expecting to see on AMC. You call that, it doesn't look exactly like a cup and handle, but this would be the general move. I'll just leave this here for now, and just see if it actually follows that setup out. But I don't think we'll start seeing any real moves until after about 1 o'clock, 1, maybe 2:45, into the end of the day. Taking a look at the order blocks real quick. Let me just double check PayPal. And PayPal's trying to turn around. Alright, it's a little late to the party. Let me double check PayPal. Bounced off of the 3-minute 9 EMA, looking to push up. How's the MACD looking? Maybe. Target 1. Let's take a look at. Taking a 920 run cross on the 5-minute, on the 30-minute, which is good. We'll see. Ton of orders waiting in this area. Double order block. This orders and buying orders sitting right between 397 and about 399, looking to push this thing back up. We should see a lot of wicks that'll actually show that it wants to push back upside. Again, we want to keep lower volume to the downside move, and we want to see wicks trying to push this thing back up. Hammer candles, stuff like that, that indicate that it wants to push to the upside. And I think we're going to see it. You can just see this green order block, which shows where the buying pressure is. I'm going to have a tough time pushing through this. So I don't see it going much lower. This double order block where these two intersect would be the strongest area of buying area in this case on the 5-minute chart. Sellers on the 5-minute, they are waiting up here within the range of about 422 up to about 434. Which is basically where we hit NAFTA hours at 436 mark, because they're trying to keep it away from this velocity area I talked about earlier, which is 434. You break 434, it's going to move very fast. But that's where they're looking to keep it under. They're just trying to make sure that they keep it smooth. This dotted line I mentioned a little earlier, and also in my video, the most recent video I made, that dotted line is the area where the all-time, not the all-time highs, but where the more recent runs, ape conversion, things like that. That's the area where those highs actually hit. So you break that first level of resistance, you'll start seeing some real moves there. I'll go ahead and put it back again. And that coincides with that 434. The sellers are waiting here, which also coincide with the smooth moving average on the 45-minute time frame, as well as the 30-minute time frame. So the smooth moving average up there, that line I talked about a minute ago, they're trying to keep it underneath that area, and they're going to do that for as long as possible until things start to turn around. Again, they're just trying to keep the options under control. And understandably so. They don't want this thing to go wild or go out of control before they're ready to react or do things on their time. I'm going to leave PayPal alone. It's kind of late to the party in my opinion on 0 DTEs. I'd probably consider 1 DTEs maybe. but I need to see a pullback a little bit more. Just got a 45-minute cross, and I don't want to hold anything longer term. So we'll see. I don't really trust the market at this particular point while this is happening. So rather safe than sorry at this point. We were able to catch Nvidia real nice this morning. But that was about it. Next 2 weeks, I'm expecting this to have that move into sign of strength within the next 2 weeks, which would put AMC somewhere around the minimum $10 mark before coming back down and testing as a backup LPS somewhere around the $7 mark. So that's what we're waiting for, in my opinion. That's what's most likely going to happen. So that's what I'm looking for in the next 2 weeks. And here's the pattern that I'm looking for in AMC to play out. I'm just going to leave this here also to see if that actually comes to fruition. It's funny. I mean, once you get an idea how these guys operate, you can see this stuff over and over again. After LPS, it's markup. So you should see $11, $12 come back to probably somewhere around between 7 and 8. And then over time, don't know how fast, I'm still calling anywhere between the end of September to possibly into October, end of October, which is going to be somewhere around the 17 to 18 mark would be next. And then from there, I'm talking about $29. So I'm going to leave this right here for AMC, and we'll see if this actually comes true. So this is the Adam and Eve pattern, a V shape, a U shape, and then from there you go. A little bit of retest at the top, and then from there you go. This is basically the setup here. So we'll see. But it is going to come down for a little bit before the next move. Ape also doing the same thing, coming down. Well, not the same exact thing. It's just coming down to retest the 9 EMA, as well as retest the breakout of 222. So that should continue on. We'll leave that be for the time being. Is PayPal starting to show some legs here? Opportunity. It's now touching on the 9 EMA. It is cooling off in the RSI, coming down. The MACD has not fully crossed over yet. Horizon's coming down heavy. This is what we expected. It already had its run. It's coming back down. So I'm not touching Verizon at this point. Yeah, I definitely agree. As far as that, Illy, the markup phase, it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be a sped up setup. It's going to be sped up compared to what we've seen in the past. It won't be a short time frame like we saw in the past with between the January squeeze and then the June squeeze or the June continuation. January of 2021 was the squeeze. June was just a markup phase of the squeeze. You understand what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I put in the video, is that January 2021 was the real short squeeze of the year. All we did was continue on after that. And that was just a continuation move or a markup phase of January. And that's what I'm expecting to see happen with this move. The only difference is it's going to be more condensed, a lot smaller, a lot sharper. It's in a quicker time frame. So what took 6 months to do in January is probably going to take 2 months in this go around, which is one of the reasons why I have my setup here as September to October. But again, that's not financial advice. Just pay attention to what those levels are, just to kind of keep everyone informed of what I'm seeing. All right, so SPY did come back. It is testing, looking to test the breakout. It's going to break the 90 MA. Some buy orders down here. It's probably going to go down to that level. Definitely. You know the drill. I do, David. I do believe that it could actually hit all-time highs again and probably break it. Now, in terms of how long it's going to take, that is not what I would be able to answer right now. I mean, a good idea. It'd be most likely more so into next year. But in terms of more the closer time frames, I'm still looking at about $30 as being the location that we'll see as a test. In a very short term, a very near term. So just a couple months from here. $30 is a very major area on this chart, on this stock. We did a lot of trading on that in the stock at that time, at that area. So I'm expecting us to we're not going to just fly through it that quickly, because there's volume there. But areas of volume gaps between in the teens, we didn't trade for very long in the teens. It's a very short time. So the areas that there are gaps, we'll see the quickest volatility through, because there's no trading ranges that are established in those areas. So when they're open like that, you have the opportunity to just run right through them. No, definitely. Glad I could help on that. Yeah, you'll run right through those areas. So just real quick, I'm gonna open up just AMC for a quick minute. Oops. There's a lot going on here. When you watch this thing long enough, all of this stuff makes sense. And a lot of us, I'm pretty sure, have been watching this thing for a couple of years. So let's go ahead and erase a couple of things real quick. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Open VPVR. Should open up a whole nother window for this one. Yeah, it's been a tough one. Nobody said it was going to be easy. But hopefully a lot of people picked up some things along the way to mentally prepare for themselves for next time around. But that's just how the game goes. They gotta break you mentally, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people got shaken out of this thing. A lot of people called it quits, decided to just go the other way. You know, I mean, yeah, you could have done that if you knew what you were doing. You could probably made some money on some other plays, but not a lot of them are designed this way, like the way AMC is, in my opinion. There are not that many opportunities like this one. I gotta change my settings on this. Let's see. Yeah. That's it. That's the way you gotta be. Kind of gotta just put it on the back burner and don't even look at it. I'll tell you, I know a lot of people, if they look at their position, they probably they probably throw up because it's you don't want to see that. Who wants to see their positions down 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% down? So if you can stomach it, go ahead. But as long as you're not, not in a position where you're over leveraged or whatever the case may be. I mean, I know some people that are. And, it's a tough one. But yeah, that's a learning lesson. As far as the volume profile, this is what we're talking about. The areas where it traded the most are going to be in that $30 range. So you get this open range. Once you break out of here, which is the big area, again, this volume profile location. Let me get rid of the drawings for a second. So once we break over this area using the volume profile, you can see that this red line, the highest amount of volume and most shares traded are sitting right here. This red line indicates where most volume is traded. The highest point is roughly around the $5 mark. And that's where the stock is traded for in the most area, for the most time ever since the stock was released. So it's a reason they're keeping us under here. This is basically what they're considering to be the true price, which is, in my opinion, not correct. But once you break out of this, you have these air gaps in between these general locations. So once you get to these air gaps, you can move through these areas pretty quickly. The next one is going to be sitting here somewhere around the $7.84 mark. We talked about that earlier as being one of the areas to break. You break through that, and you're starting to move into squeeze and sign of strength area. You can see also how it lines up with the smooth moving average very closely. This is the squeeze location. This is where things start to get real. You break through this, you go. You break through there. It also lines up with the volume profile. Opens this whole entire area up, which is just nothing. Huge gap all the way till you get to about $23. Not a lot of shares were traded here, so there's not a lot of resistance in this area. So you'll fly through this very quickly. So this is one of the reasons that we say $11. The slight shelf here, a slight volume shelf, roughly about $11.43, which is one of the areas, like I mentioned, $12 would be somewhere you'd hit quickly if you fly through that first area of $8. You hit this quickly, you come and bounce around here for a little while, then you start to make your way through the next one, which is going to be around 17, 18, 19 bucks. Again, you see this little pop out here. That's your next location. From there, $23. Your next location from there is going to be somewhere in between the $28, $29 mark, which is sitting just in this area here. From there, nothing but air pretty much after that. All time. If you break that level of 35 bucks, which is huge, you're going to see all-time highs at that point. So there's something to pay attention to is the volume profile. We look at volume from this particular side, which is the standard volume, but in the profile it tells us a lot more as well, just to see where the most shares are traded based upon the price. So another way of doing this too. They're not letting ape loose. They're not doing it. Yeah, they don't want ape to go. They fear ape. Goodness gracious. Google's still coming down now. 126, down 3%. Yeah, I think we might be in a little bit of a crash here. So that was a nice blow off there after 436 level on the SPY. Some buyers waiting down there to hold this thing up. But right now it's not looking too good. QQQ turning around as well. I mean, tomorrow is OPEX. Sorry, today is OPEX. Excuse me. Wow, today is the 18th. Today is OPEX. And sometimes you see these moves that actually occur the week prior, the day of, and also going into the following weeks. 1 week afterwards. But if that, we should start seeing something happen in some of these stocks. If not this week, next week definitely. I'm going to repair this real quick. Put this back in place. Ape. Five-minute time frame. Ape is at 225, trying to push through again. Got that bounce off of the resistance level, which is good. Good to see. AMC still sitting, trying to make that pattern we talked about a little while ago, which is that Adam and Eve setup. Not a problem, Ellie. That's the idea. I'm gonna get rid of the. Don't need that anymore. The VRVP. It's a good tool, but I don't like to have it always and sitting there in my face. So I look at it just to do charting and just get an idea of where the locations of open air are when you got your calls or your puts or whatever. Those are locations, like I mentioned before, that's where things pull out the fastest or move the fastest, are in those particular areas when there's open air on volume, on price trading. Tesla's still coming down. They break the 213 level I talked about a little while ago. Yeah, Tesla's going to 203. Goodness gracious. Yeah, the blue chips are coming down hard. It's crazy. If Tesla goes to 203, I'm buying. I'm buying more shares. I don't even care at that point. I don't think you see Tesla again at those numbers. IWM is actually still green. Some small cap. Let me see what small caps are actually running. I think we are still in OPEX, and a lot of the small cap sector should still be running. I mean, that's why IWM is green. And we are at OPEX. So maybe I'm missing something. I don't know what stocks are running. Something's running out there. Maybe just haven't caught it yet. Ape is starting, AMC starting to do that thing, just as we expected it to. Bouncing, basically reaccumulating for another push. Got that pattern still drawn out here, drawn out. The Adam and Eve setup. It's gonna happen. They're just gonna wait. They want to wait to just wait us out. But you can also look pattern wise. You also, in using aftermarket, the pre-market as well, you got an inverse head and shoulders playing out. This is on AMC anyways. Ape is just doing its own thing. It's just trying to break out. But AMC, we have an idea. Inverse head and shoulders is a bullish reversal pattern. Also, I showed you a little while ago the Adam and Eve. Another one that's showing that this thing wants to go up. They're just buying for time right now. Need to start seeing them let their volume loose on this thing. Same thing that happened yesterday. Even yesterday's move, we had 7% move in the daytime, during the day, or during the trading day. They didn't release the real volume until the close. That's why we got that move all the way up to $36, $436. So they're holding volume. It's just how they're operating right now. They're doing it, and they're doing it on purpose, for various reasons. So they'll do it again later. It happened yesterday. We ran up another 6% right after hours. Why wouldn't they let that happen during the day? That tells you something. So that's what it is. They needed to stay under a certain level just for max pain reasons and for options reasons. Yeah, I'll double check on Tesla. See what that's about. Give me 1 second. I'll pull up that chart. Tesla is also in that descending broadening wedge pattern, and it was one of the easiest ones to see. It was a very bullish stock either way, even though people were looking for it to break into the. Even I was at one point when it was really dumping last year. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can get this thing at $80, you know. But it just didn't happen. That would have been a nice move to get it at 80 and sell at 300. Not bad, and then buy again at 200. That'd be beautiful, but it didn't work out that way. So we'll double check Tesla real fast to see what that's looking like. How's Tesla looking right now? 212. Apple's trying to come back, trying to break above 173.88. But Tesla, let's see if we can get something on that. I'm gonna get a separate. Yeah, pretty much. They're just trying to keep control. That's exactly right. Yeah. Let's see what's happening with Tesla real quick. All right, so let me get rid of a couple different windows while we wait for things to happen here. And we'll take a look at the monthly chart you mentioned, right? Let's take a look at the monthly chart. I don't know if I have anything saved on this one, but let me go ahead and pull it up anyways. Actually, okay, I have a couple lines. couple of charts saved on Tesla. Move that over here. Add that to here. Okay. So the head and shoulders pattern that everyone's talking about, and that you just mentioned a minute ago here, crazy 75. This is what everybody's paying attention to, which is that head and shoulders here. What I'm seeing and what I've been watching for is a retest of the descending broadening wedge, which is a bullish reversal pattern. So this is where we were able to understand that we were going to see the bottom of about $100 before it turned around. And I'm going to go to a closer time frame, just a weekly, so it's easier to see these candles. So this is the same pattern that the SPY has been in. This is the same pattern that, let's take this off. Hide drawings, I'll keep that there. Hide the indicators only. Okay. This is the same pattern. Oops. That is on the SPY, that's on several blue chips, that's on AMC. This descending broadening wedge is a reversal style pattern, but it is also a reaccumulation style pattern on in Wyckoff. So what you get here is a spring test, and then from there you get a move up, which is basically the move with almost a sign of strength, kind of sort of a minor sign of strength. In this situation, you come back, you retest the breakout, which this being a breakout, we ran from, what was it, 165 all the way up to $300. That was a minor sign of strength, and all we're doing now is come back to retest. From there, I'd see a low somewhere about 200, 203, 204. Hopefully we don't break through. If we break through, that would be a very bearish sign. We could probably see somewhere down into the 160 range, 170 range, and maybe even lower if we get a crash. I'm hoping that we don't see something like that, but the way things are looking, it's looking pretty bad for the overall market. But we'll see how low things actually go. But that would be considered what it's called a wedge, a descending broadening wedge throwback, which means that you have broken back into the wedge, which means downside would ensue, and I'd be looking for a test of the smaller descending broadening wedge, which is inside, which is what broke before we actually got that nice bull run. So there's a small little one that broke. You got that. We'll be looking to test somewhere in this range, about 175, if the 203 mark breaks. But a lot of people will most likely be buying in this area here at about 200 if that happens. Because I know a lot of people are seeing the same exact pattern. I know a lot of people are seeing this, but the people that have tried to short Tesla, they've been trying to short Tesla since 2010. And every time they try to short it, it just squeezes higher. And it keeps doing the same pattern over and over again. And that's why we're sitting at, numbers that we're sitting at near all-time highs. And I do still see Tesla running to like some crazy numbers, $600 on, even after this split that's happened recently. Reverse split or whatever, the stock split that took place a little while ago. We'd be in the new all-time high range in maybe the next year if the market holds up. So that's what we're looking at. The SPY did the same move. That's probably been well documented by a lot of people by now. The SPY was also in the same situation, descending broadening wedge, and that's why we got the move to 460. It's the same setup. You would draw that out. I don't have it marked off or saved on this particular chart, but it's the same setup. The wedge gets broader and broader. It doesn't hit the bottom. You get a midline, a retest, a breakout, and you just run. That's why we got that move, and then you eventually come back to retest. That would potentially be a retest somewhere around 404 if it breaks this level. Very major level, right? That's why the SPY trying to stay alive here is a very important thing. If it doesn't, and we break these areas, I still have 404 puts that I bought way up here just in case of something like this happening. So if that happens, I got them out for October. I had them for September. I bought them back in July, and then I rolled them out to October just in case. But right now, if we start to break 430, it's going to get bad. 420 to be next, and I don't know, some other news may come out which will drive it lower. I would like to see it bounce from here because I do think there's still more upside. We haven't hit the level. I was looking for more of a double top on the SPY, possibly even 480, 490. But it needs to start reaccumulating and turning around here. But news is what's going to drive this whole thing. So we'll see. But this is the bear market trend. Every stock that was being watched was in this setup. Actually didn't do this correctly. Here it would be more so here, something like that. On that's it. So you got this is the SPY setup here. Descending broadening wedge broke out. Tried to test the top side of the wedge on 1, 2, 3 occasions. Didn't break. Got an uptrend that was formed. Finally broke out. Got to 414. Was rejected. Came back and retested the wedge. And when you retest the wedge like that, it's time to go. Everyone gets in here and everyone knows that it's going to rocket. And that's exactly what Tesla's doing. If it goes and retests that descending broadening wedge, it's getting set up to make a parabolic kind of move like this over the next several weeks, in my opinion, unless it breaks and then we go into a crash and then that's the end of that. So we're going to keep a lookout on Tesla, watching that. And hey, I'll be looking to enter in or buy more shares at that point. I think a lot of other people would be doing the same thing as well. And the retest is waiting to happen here. This never happened originally. Oh, definitely. Let me turn on the order blocks just to see where people are waiting as buyers. You can usually do that with order blocks, get an idea where the buyers are waiting, and that probably would even further confirm it. Got some people down there. Those guys are bold. Let's see. Lower time frames. Oof, okay. Buyers not looking to step in yet. Buyers want it down here. So that'd be the retest like we talked about a little earlier. So the buyer's looking to get in. If it fails, it's going to go down there, like I talked about a minute ago. But if it doesn't, it's coming down to the 170 area. If it breaks 200, very possible it does. So we'll see. Got a smooth moving average sitting right there, right at that line. But that's the one I'm watching. Is a 2-day smooth moving average. If it doesn't bounce off of that, which is exactly at 204.07, it'll fall through. And these buyers are waiting to snatch it up at about 150. That'd be crazy to see, but that'd be in a market crash situation, and it looks like a lot of big money is probably setting up for a market crash situation. So we're going to watch it. Keep an eye on it. Oh, Ape is moving? Okay. All right, Ape. All right, we can do that. All right. Ape is maybe stepping up. 227 on 8. What's that percentage wise on the day? Ape is now up 3.17%. Very nice. Good stuff. Thanks for the update on that, John. Let's take a look and see what is being talked about right now. It's almost 12 o'clock. Let's probably take a little break in a little bit. Let's see what else we got. Is there any news out here right now? That was a big volume candle right there on that 227 push. Look at that. That was nice. Nice to see that. Big volume push on that 127. It was immediately shorted down, but it was a nice volume move. Very nice. But let's see. Hopefully it doesn't come back down to 222. that wouldn't be cool. Very nice volume push. AMC still very, very low volume. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing any other trading today. And the way that the market looks is it doesn't even know. It's kind of bipolar right now. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Those are the times you lose money. Apple is still trying to push 175. Wow. The volume is looking real nice on Apple. Tesla's trying to turn around. Google. All right, it's looking kind of positive a little bit. How's the market doing? QQQ is pushing back up. Okay. Going to test 158. SPY is looking to try to press 437. IWM is still slightly pushing, trying to test 185. So, all right, there's some things out here moving around. Just particular plays. I don't know about today. Just said that just the Nvidia short real quick. Got in, got out. Stick and move. Took a quick loss on XOM. Even it was gonna most likely hit the target. Just was taking too long because it was a 0 DTE. So I'll just leave the one trade for today. See what's happening in the power hour. Close to it, roughly after about 1 and change. See how that operates. Alright, so it's noon right now on the East Coast over here. So I'm going to go and take a break. I'll be back probably closer to the power hour. Let's say roughly around 2:30 Eastern time. Probably jump back on going at the close, see if anything is really moving around. Expecting the moves and the fireworks to possibly start around there. But again, it's an options situation on AMC. On APE, well, not necessarily on APE, but if AMC is not allowed to move, APE is probably going to stand wherever it is for a little while too. But it is above a major resistance level we talked about, so I'm going to continue to watch this thing, see how things continue to move. I'll keep it open. I'm also going to keep my alerts on. Not going to do any more trading for today, possibly until later on in the day. Maybe a quick scalp in the power hour session. But I don't know. Market's looking like it's trying to recover here. So we'll see. It ran all the way down to 432, 433. And if that's the case, then the blue chips should start pushing this thing back up. And we'll see what happens next. All right, definitely appreciate you guys joining me. If you hit the like button, if you're not subscribed, definitely subscribe. We're trying to do these more often, more frequently. Like I said, I'll be back later on this afternoon going into the closing session. All right. Yeah, definitely dangerous. Definitely dangerous trading days right now. I wouldn't swing anything into any time frame. It'd just be quick scalps in and out. So if you're gonna be trading during this chop, be careful. But yeah, I'll be checking with you guys in later. Just hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Catch you guys in a little while. I'll be checking Twitter and stuff like that as well. So do follow me on Twitter. Might post 1 or 2 things if I see things on the lunch break here, and we'll check back in a little later. All right. Thanks again, guys. Peace.